Vaughn, there is another headline that we're watching this morning. The Department of Justice has now opened an investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James, who won that civil fraud case against the president a few years ago. What more do we know?
And that's right. I'm told Attorney General Pam Bondi tapped Trump loyalist Ed Martin as a special attorney to investigate both California Senator Adam Schiff and Letitia James for alleged mortgage fraud, and that grand juries have already been impaneled for these inquiries. Earlier this summer, Martin notably started the weaponization working group at the DOJ, and he explicitly said his goal was to either charge with crimes or shame those who sought to prosecute Trump before he re-entered the White House. These two Democratic officials have for years now been perceived by President Trump as enemies after Schiff, you'll recall, led the prosecution in President Trump's first impeachment trial, and James led a successful fraud case against the Trump organization. In a statement, James' personal lawyer called this the most blatant and desperate example of the president's retribution campaign, and Schiff's attorney called Martin brazenly partisan and politically compromised. Peter?
Vaughn Hilliard with the very latest from the White House this morning. Vaughn, thanks.
Woo! Ed, let's do it. Let's get him. He didn't, and look, now you got him putting the doodle on himself. This is good. Oh, hell. Brother Head and Shoulders and made another crying video. He done doodled on himself. Look at him. It smelled like doodle. You just done all on yourself. Then doodled all on himself. He just up here scared, panicking. Don't know what to do next. We coming to get you. We coming to get you, Brother Adam. Brother Head and Shoulders, we coming to get you. This is good.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so crazy?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our citizens. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, we got some breaking news. Brother Head and Shoulders and Big Gravy James. Oh, this is getting good. Your worst nightmare has just been confirmed. Oh, this is getting good. Pam Bondi has appointed Ed Martin as the special prosecutor investigating both Adam Schiff, Letitia James for mortgage fraud. Big Tish, Pencil Neck, Watermelon Head, Big Gravy James. I just want to see y'all walked out with your hands behind your back. I want to see somebody walked out with their hands behind their back. That's what we advocate for on this channel. Jail, prison, slammer yard. Turn the lights off. Look at the wall. Yeah. People got to be held accountable, man. You know, and these ones were the same Democrats that scream to the top of their lungs, you know, that somebody is a felon. No one's above the law. The big bad orange man. Threat to democracy. Yeah. We got to see witch hunts, shams, weaponization. Can't beat your political opponent fair and square. And y'all walked the man right back on up in there with a new suit on, new shoes. Y'all gave him some of that hair grease. I seen Trump lately has been slicking it to the side like that. Y'all bought Trump new hair grease. You sure did. He been slicking it just like that, slicking it. And y'all rolled the red carpet out for the man. Thank you. Hallelujah. Clap your hands. Give it up for your 47th president of the United States, whether you like it or not. And it's been a lot of wins in the last 6 to 7 months. Now, we're not going to agree on everything and everything that President Trump has said in the last 6 months. This is not they think we're in some kind of Shazam cult or something. You know, we all are keeping everybody held accountable. You know, there's a lot of things we love, and there's some things we probably say, I don't know. Wait a second, Trump. We might have could have did this better. We could be better on this messaging, but hey, here we are in the first 6 months of his second term, and it's been a lot of wins, and I'm glad to report on it. But Ed Martin, and you know he has took it to the internet, and he's freaking out right now, panicking. He always drops some kind of scum, fraudulent, panic, crying video, but it just been revealed that attorney representing Adam Schiff in his mortgage case, investigated by Ed Martin, now desperately wants to kick Martin off the case allegations of glaring bias. He wants to kick Ed Martin off the case. Imagine that. I wonder why he fears Ed Martin. Oh boy, y'all know a top hitter. But don't worry, y'all know he took it to the internet with a quick response, a little crying video like they always do. It never failed with Adam Schiff responding in these videos. It never fails, you know. And here he is. You just can't make this up. You just can't. But I'm here for this, y'all. Again, we are advocating for this. For how does that head fit on that neck? That's what President Trump says. He says, how does that head fit on that neck? They call him pencil neck. I tell you, brother watermelon, brother head and shoulders, we got to walk your butt out. You and many others need to be held accountable. You lying, scamming dog, you. They should have been put your butt up long time ago. You in there begging for a pardon. He down there praying to the machine, trying to get the machine to turn back on, trying to get the authorization code, auto pen. Everybody need a pardon. Preemptive pardon. Everybody need a pardon.
I'm doing everything I can to block this guy from becoming U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. This is Ed Martin. Here he is doing an introduction of his friend, Timothy Hale Cuccinelli.
He's an extraordinary man, extraordinary leader now of those who have survived January 6th. And I think he's resisted this, but I don't care because I have the I bought this microphone and I want him to come up.
Now you might ask, so what's the problem with that introduction? The problem with that introduction is Timothy Hale Cuccinelli. Here's a photo of Timothy Hale Cuccinelli portraying one of his apparent heroes. Timothy Cuccinelli is a avowed anti-Semite, admirer of the Fuhrer, someone who has talked about wanting to eat Jews for lunch and dinner. This is the guy that Ed Martin is saying is an extraordinary person that we want to hear more for. It's a leader the country needs to hear more from. Really? Does the country need to hear more anti-Semitic bile?
Yeah, see how you hear the tone. You see how his give off in the video. This is how you know you did something wrong. Somebody coming after you, and you're guilty as hell. Yeah, Adam, I hate to break it to you. I mean, you Democrats do some good acting. You know, you do. We know you're running off the same script, but the people are done. The people are fed up, Adam. I hate to break it to you. The people are done. The people are fed up. They want your butt walked out. And it's not just you. It's a lot of people that need to be walked out.
From this guy? I don't think so. But this is just one of the many reasons why I'm trying to kill this nomination. Let me step back and talk about the office that he is nominated for, its importance, and Ed Martin's other disqualifying characteristics. So this is the U.S. Attorney's Office in the District of Columbia. It is the largest U.S. Attorney's Office in the country. I served in the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California many years ago. The D.C. office has hundreds of lawyers. It not only prosecutes all of the federal crimes in that area, but it also prosecutes serious local crimes. So in other cities, other jurisdictions, the U.S. Attorney's Office only handles the federal crimes, but this office does both.
I know. You're like, Rick, how the hell are we sitting here listening to this fool? I know. I'm trying to get through it too, y'all. I know he on here scared, panicking, crying. I'm trying to get through it too, y'all. I'm sick of hearing them too. I promise you, I'm ready to click off the video too myself.
And because it's the office where the seat of our government is located, it also handles some really important corruption cases involving federal officials. So this is a super important prosecutor's office. And this nominee, well, let's start out with his background experience. He has none. Never been a prosecutor, never prosecuted a case. So how did he come to the attention of Donald Trump? Well, he came to the attention of Donald Trump in the way many people have come to the attention of the president. He was one of the big Stop the Steal lawyers. He, among other things, not only pushed the big lie, but also represented people on January 6th who were there and assaulting the Capitol. In fact, Ed Martin was at the Capitol on January 6th. Here's what Ed Martin had to say about what he observed on January 6th. Mardi Gras in D.C., love, faith, and joy. Well, just in case you don't remember what that day was like, here's an image or two from January 6th. Yeah, so that's apparently love, faith, and joy, according to Ed Martin. Ed Martin was not only present on January 6th and obviously enjoying himself, but he also represented people charged with serious crimes on January 6th. One of them, Joseph Padilla, he continued to represent. One of them, Joseph Padilla, he continued to represent even after he was appointed acting U.S. attorney and moved to dismiss the case against his own client. Now, that is the most serious breach of ethics as a member of the bar. That is, you're not allowed to represent both sides of a dispute. But here he is representing this January 6th criminal and then being nominated to be U.S. attorney and positioned as the acting U.S. attorney and moving to dismiss the case against his own client, causing members of the D.C. bar to move to have him disciplined or disbarred. But it wasn't just his representation of that client. He also represented William Crestman. William Crestman was charged with going after police officers with an axe handle. So that's his other qualification, that is defending violent criminals engaged in trying to overturn the election for Donald Trump.
Thank you,
but he also had one other thing going for him in Donald Trump's
this is
world.
good. We all think this is good, Schiff. We all think this is good, Brother Watermelon. We think this is good. We think this is real good. We don't give a damn thing you and your Democrat buddies got to say. We don't give a damn.
Not unlike other Donald Trump nominees, he wrote a book of sorts about Donald Trump. Okay, in Ed Martin's case, it was this book. Yeah, okay, it's a coloring book. But coloring book, kids book, book on government gangsters, you write about Donald Trump in a flattering way, it gets you to high places. So he's been acting U.S. attorney for some time, and this really gives the greater body of reasons why he must not be confirmed for this position. I mentioned dismissing the case against his own client, but it goes well beyond that. We have seen in other cases the Justice Department use the power of the department as a shield to protect allies of the president. So, for example, in the Southern District of New York, we saw the Justice Department move to dismiss the case against the mayor, this corruption case against the mayor, because the mayor was useful to Donald Trump on immigration policy. But what we see with Ed Martin in the District of Columbia is something even more dangerous, and that is using the department's power to go after the president's enemies. In this case, what Ed Martin did is, under the Inflation Reduction Act, passed under Joe Biden, there were funds set up to try to attack climate change, and one of them funded renewable energy projects. Those funds are held in a bank. Ed Martin, acting at the behest of the Trump administration, didn't want those funds going out to support these renewable energy projects. So Ed Martin instructed one of the attorneys in his office, a woman named Denise Chung, to write a letter to the bank and say, you need to freeze those funds because you're under criminal investigation. Well, she refused. She said there's no probable cause. There's no evidence to suggest that any crime has been committed, and you can't simply say you have a criminal investigation or threaten one on the basis of no evidence and for a political reason. Well, Ed Martin insisted, and Denise Chung resigned rather than take that unethical action. So here you have an acting prosecutor who is essentially trying to falsely claim that someone is under investigation to illegally seize funds. That also is disqualifying from this position. But Ed Martin has gone beyond that. He's also used that position to try to threaten public figures with which he disagrees or he views as adversaries of the president. He has sent threatening letters to Chuck Schumer over comments he made. He has sent threatening letters to Robert Garcia, California congressman.
Good. Yeah. Here's a lot of I say keep sending them. I say keep sending them. I say make them more threatening. Yeah. Make them piss on themselves. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in the letter, I hope he wrote Chuck. Do you know how to turn the grill on, Chuck? Chuck, do you know how to turn the grill on?
And over comments that he made, he is endeavoring to use the power of that office to chill the speech of elected officials who are considered political opponents of the president. Another patent abuse of that office. And finally, there is this, which just came out within the last 20.
Oh, sweet hypocrisy. I tell you, man. Don't worry, y'all. We're almost done with this fraud. The fraud's video is almost up. His time is almost up. Don't worry, family. I know we almost done with it. They like, man, can we please get from him talking? Shoot.
24 hours. Ed Martin has appeared on Russia propaganda arms RT and Sputnik over 150 times and never disclosed it during his confirmation process. So RT and Sputnik have been designated foreign agents by our government. They are essentially propaganda arms of the Kremlin. And Ed Martin has been a frequent guest and on RT and on these Russian propaganda arms on their broadcast has essentially carried Kremlin water in a variety of ways. He has defended Kremlin allies like Bashar al-Assad, suggesting that, well, maybe he didn't gas his own people. He said at the time of Russia's buildup along Ukraine's border that there was no evidence that Russia was planning to invade Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine only days later. And so we see in these hundreds of appearances, 150 appearances, that may be a qualification in the eyes of Donald Trump, but it should be a disqualification in the eyes of the U.S. Senate. So I put a hold on his nomination. Now, a hold isn't a perfect remedy. That is, Republicans in the majority can overcome a hold, but it does slow down any further action on his confirmation. It requires them to go through every step necessary to confirm him, take no shortcuts. It forces votes on his confirmation.
Oh, he look like I smell doo-doo. I smell doo-doo. He didn't shit on himself. Excuse my language, but he didn't all on himself. I'm trying to keep it clean, family. I'm sorry, but I smell doo-doo. I smell doo-doo. He up here scared. Then boo-booed all on himself. Look. Look at him. Then boo-booed all on himself.
And so I'm going to do everything I can, both by bringing out the evidence against him, joining Dick Durbin, our ranking Democrat, and calling for a hearing on his confirmation, which is not traditional for a U.S. attorney position.
Dick Durbin.
And slowing down anything on
Dick Durbin.
the Senate floor, because this guy is patently unfit for office. Ed Martin describes himself, in his capacity as acting U.S. attorney, describes himself as Trump's lawyer. Ed Martin is not Trump's lawyer, or if he has no business being U.S. attorney. Because when you're a U.S. attorney, you are not the lawyer for the president. You are the lawyer for the people of the United States. When you step into the courtroom, as I did as an assistant U.S. attorney, you introduce yourself as Adam Schiff on behalf of the United States. You do not introduce yourself as on behalf of Donald Trump. He is disqualified, and I'm going to do everything to stop his confirmation.
Yeah, you scared. Yeah, it smell like doo-doo all over. It stank. You stink. You up here crying, panicking, scared. Yeah, I hope your butt do that. What they say, he facing 30s. I know, we know he won't get 30. He won't get 30 years, but. And then, I see the comments. If he does get arrested, he'll just be released. But I hope they do some way, something that your butt get made an example out of, and that you do serve time. We really hope you do. They should have been arrested your butt and put you in the slammer yard a long time ago. And you come out with the same script, the same crying, panicking videos, boo-booing all on yourself. People sick and tired of you and y'all Democrats, man. We are sick and tired. The hell with you Democrats. A disgrace, man.